Hello, and welcome to the Equipment Plus grant overview for the 2025 Local Food System Infrastructure Grant, brought to you by the Washington State Department of Agriculture Regional Markets Program. Our agenda for today includes the grant category overview for Equipment Plus. We'll look at timelines and funding amounts, and I'll give you a peek at the grant portal as well. And finally, we'll do a deep dive of the evaluation criteria for this competitive grant application. First, the grant purpose is to support local food supply chains and market access for farms, food processors, and food distributors. Grant projects expand and strengthen collaboration across linkages in the regional food supply chain. Within the Equipment Plus category, we are focused on equipment purchases that address a specific local food system infrastructure gap or barrier to local market access for a Washington farm, ranch, or food business. This category may include only minor facility improvements that make equipment usable, such as electrical outlets, sink installation, or floor resurfacing. Any major facility improvements are only eligible within the large project category. Who can apply? Eligible applicants fall into three categories: owner-operated farms or ranches in Washington with less than $1 million in annual gross cash farm income in 2024, non-farm food businesses with fewer than 100 employees, and finally, nonprofit, tribal, or local government entities, as long as they gather, process, manufacture, move, store, or sell Washington-grown, caught, or raised foods. There are two different timelines that you need to choose between when applying for an Equipment Plus grant. Project Timeline A will be from February to June 30th, 2026. And Project Timeline B will be from March to June 30th, 2027. From July 1st, 2026 to June 30th, 2027. Funding amounts are the same for both project timelines, with a minimum of $15,000 and up to $75,000 maximum. There are different funding amounts available, though, total funding amounts available in each project timeline. We anticipate $2.8 million available in Timeline A, funding roughly 50 projects, and less, just $1.2 million available in Timeline B, funding roughly 20 projects. The application timeline is the same for both project timelines, with the grant application opening August 14th and closing October 28th. There will be two different times when applicants will be notified of their award status. For timeline A, we anticipate that being in January 2026, and timeline B, March of 2026. And when you click through to the grant portal from the grant website, it will look like this. You'll know that you're in the right place because it will say Equipment Plus in big red letters. You'll first complete your profile, which I have done already here, and then you'll click Fill out an application. Take a minute, and you'll see there are 3 steps to the application. The first is the Equipment Plus narrative questions. Open that there and complete those. The Equipment Plus proposed budget. Complete there. And then optionally, there's letters of support from benefiting farms and food businesses. You open that and complete there. Back to the slides. We'll end this video with a deep dive on the evaluation criteria for Equipment Plus. There are 3 different categories. First is regional food system impact, with 36 points possible across 5 criteria. Second is achievability, with 8 points possible across 2 criteria. And finally is budget reasonableness, with 4 points possible and 1 criteria. There are also bonus points for new grant recipients and small businesses. So applicants who have received less than $75,000 in grant awards from WSDA regional markets in the past 3 years will receive 2 points. And small farms and ranches with less than $350,000 in gross cash farm income in 2024, or a small food business other than farms or ranches with less than 25 employees will receive 1 point. So looking at the regional food system impact category, the first criteria is identifies a market opportunity for their products or services. This is worth 8 points possible, ranging from none or unclear market opportunity up to a specific market opportunity with documented market opportunity evidence. The second criteria is identifies necessary resources to address the infrastructure gap or bottleneck. For example, facilities, staffing, equipment, inputs, contractors. This is worth 8 points possible and ranges from none or unclear resources identified up to specific resources identified that will address the infrastructure gap in a unique or exceptional way. The third criteria is improves profitability of Washington farms or food businesses that grow, catch, or raise food. There are 8 points possible, ranging from none or unclear improvement up to significant improvement with documented support from Washington farm and food businesses. The fourth criteria is improves market access for Washington-grown, caught, or raised foods, with 8 points possible. This ranges from none or unclear improvement up to significant improvement with documented support from other farms, food businesses, wholesale accounts, marketplaces, or end consumers. Finally, the fifth criteria is contributes to local food system resilience in ways other than increasing the purchase or sale of Washington-grown, caught, or raised foods. For example, emergency preparedness, resource sharing, relationship building, mentorship, or education, with 4 points possible. This ranges from none or unclear improvement on food system resilience up to unique or outstanding impact on food system resilience. Next up is achievability, with the first criteria being project timeline is detailed and achievable, with 4 points possible, ranging from none or unclear timeline up to specific timeline that accounts for potential delays. The second criteria is applicant has a clear plan to reduce the risks related to the proposed project, with 4 points possible. This ranges from none or unclear risk mitigation planning up to outstanding risk mitigation planning. And finally, we have the budget reasonableness category with one criteria. The proposed budget amount is reasonable compared to the food system impact of the project, with 4 points possible, ranging from unreasonable to outstanding reasonableness. That concludes our Equipment Plus grant overview. If you have questions, please reach out to me, Galen Van Horn, or my colleague Ivy Fox. We'd be happy to support you. Thanks for watching.